Navigator Nation, how is it going? We're running a bit late today, obviously. I see Joe and John are already on top of the tardiness there. My name is Mike Hess. I am the COPD dude. I am a respiratory therapist and COPD navigator slash educator slash advocate. To my left, your right is one eye of Emma. There she is.
Hello.
She's going to be manning the console today, as she often does, helping me out with making sure we keep up with your comments as best as we can. Just rearranging the screen here a little bit. This will be our last daily show. We've been doing the house call through the pandemic here while we've had the stay-at-home order. And while we've all been kind of stuck in isolation and so being social from a distance and all that stuff. Oh, I forgot to change the source on the date here. I better change that real quick. But, we're getting back to some form of normal-ish. And that means going back to work. So I do intend to be live, like I've said before, as much as possible. There we go. That should do. Do tend to be live as much as possible in the coming weeks because I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet, and especially for folks with COPD, immune system problems, reduced immunity in their immune system. That tells you what kind of afternoon it's been rattling around like that. More gain, John says. Well, I might have to move it a little bit closer too. There we go. There we go. That should work. Everybody's a little bit different with the volume and things like that, and the computer systems are different. The difference between like listening to stuff on a computer rather than headphones and stuff like that. So, more gain. The call for more gain just means more power, basically. The more you know. Warp particles. So where was I? Oh, so we're gonna continue on. I want to get back into the old Breathe TV model, although I do kind of like the house call moniker now, and we had a couple of people chime in for that. Whatever we're gonna call it, we're still gonna be able to do likely a couple of times a month at least. We had another fantastic cats are going a little nuts here now. We had what do we call it? The pearls from not pearls from swine. I don't know. We had a Zoom webinar last night where we were originally going to play a game, and the game servers wouldn't work. This time, famous last words like Han Solo. It's not my fault. Our connection was good. All our stuff was good. But the servers just wouldn't answer. So couldn't play the game, but we ended up having a real nice social time with a handful of our navigators. And we're going to continue on with that. Looks like we're going to do every Monday. And we're going to have kind of a rotation. This week we're going to start with harmonicas. And then we'll go into kind of a better breathers thing where we might have a topic. And then, any of these times we're going to have time for questions and answers and camaraderie and all that stuff. So we'll try to have some social stuff, and then we'll have a fourth type to be determined. So topic of today, of course, being Friday, it's Fitness Friday. And as many of you may know, my wife Kelly and I, who unfortunately won't be able to be with us today, she's a little tied up with a few odds and ends, so I know how much you guys all like seeing Kelly. But she and I are starting another venture called, we have a venture called The Best Nest because, we do some other consulting and things like that. And we want to put our combined chronic condition management, symptom management skills and knowledge and experience as patients ourselves. We've been wanting to put that to use for a while now. So we started a new show on Sundays called Fight to Flight. Because when you're always, you've got the fight to flight reflex, but when you're always fighting, it's hard to take flight. So sharing our journeys as we continue to try to get back on the right track with our weight and all kinds of other chronic health stuff going on. So tune in Sunday for that, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But it got me to thinking back to, what can we do for fitness? And I know we've done some internet stuff before, but so we're struggling with what to do today. And this kind of all came together right at the last minute, believe it or not, which is why we're about 15 minutes late. When I was first starting to try to get healthier, first starting to take my weight seriously and all that stuff, Kelly and I got Fitbit step counters, fitness trackers, whatever. They do supposedly the ones we had, I guess, did some other stuff, but we mainly were focusing on the step count because that was real big at the time. Where maybe it's not a whole bunch supported by evidence and peer review and stuff, but they were saying that you get 10,000 steps a day. That's good. That's healthy. So that was the goal. We started walking. I started walking. Many of you know the story of how I started walking in San Francisco at a conference, and then realized if I can do it in the hills of San Francisco, I can do it here. And then I kept walking. And then when it was nasty outside, could walk inside. We wanted to do that kind of stuff. And we've now we had our 4 or 5 days of spring that we have in Michigan these days, and we went from winter and now we're into summer, and it's hot, it's humid, and it's okay first thing in the morning, but of course, as John mentioned a couple sessions ago on one of the web conferences we were on, he kind of spends the day COPDing, and sometimes you don't want to get up early, and sometimes you don't want to stay out late when the humidity is broken, maybe. Or one thing, Kelly and I have gone on a couple of hikes, walks in the morning, and the mosquitoes are a little bit more prevalent than they are midday. So sometimes when you have a lot of those other factors, there's not really a great time to exercise, except when you have climate control. So hopefully you may have some air conditioning or something similar, or you're in an area where it's conducive to that. It's not terribly nasty out or nasty in, I guess I should say. And you're able to do that. Well, as we've done a couple of other fitness programs, there's a plethora of stuff that you can get on YouTube for free, or whatever it costs to buy a computer and get internet service. But these aren't in the subscription YouTube. You don't have to pay for Netflix or Hulu or Amazon, or you don't have to pay any extra subscription. You just go to YouTube and look for some of these things. And now, prior to that, Kelly had a bunch of these on DVD for those physical media fans out there. And VHS before that. Youth. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Welcome in. We're just getting ready to get going here, hopefully. So one of the biggest proponents of walking is a lady by the name of Leslie Sansone. She is, honestly, I don't know all of what her fitness bona fides are, but she does a lot of walking, and it's not even just the walking. It seems kind of silly and may even feel kind of silly to just kind of chug along in place. And that's fine, but there are also some other exercises that she has that can strengthen some of the other muscles involved and even get some of the resistance training involved and stuff like that. So in memory of the end of this journey, and considering, I was reminded that it can be kind of humid outside. Karen says hello to you also.
Hi.
Karen?
Mike is being nice. Kelly's in the background. I'm just a bit under the weather and sweaty and not feeling fantastic. So you guys don't need to see me moving around to that.
All right. So I was trying to give Kelly some cover there, but she also says hello. She is actually here just feeling a little bit under the weather. I was trying to make her feel a little bit better, and apparently that didn't work. But
it did. But I can't keep my mouth shut over here now.
But in any event, we've got Leslie Sansone on the YouTube. Like I said, recognizing that sometimes you just got to stay inside even when it's nice. I was tempted to go try and do something outside like we did Foursquare last week, or we've done Tai Chi and some of that other stuff. But obviously, like I said, not always practical to get outside. So we're going to stay inside. We're going to walk away the pounds with Leslie Sansone. Should I do the split screen, or you think we're good? That didn't work. That never seems to work out real well.
Maybe just show them a minute of it, but not the split screen. You know what I mean? Like just have one of your cameras on a screen for a minute, so
Okay.
they can see the format.
So actually, what I'll do you one better because I can actually pull that up right here even easier, and then we'll just go ahead and get started. Karen, hopes you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Hello, Patricia. Wrong camera. Sorry. Hello, Patricia. It's probably a good thing this is the last show. I'm falling apart here.
This is what happens when you go back to the office.
I know.
I'm sick. Everything's falling apart.
That's why we just need to work from home forever. All right. So what I'm going to do real quick is, it's funny. We were talking last night about trying to vamp a little bit. And I was talking about how it's really an acquired skill. You know, that you listen to DJs and stuff like that, and they just make it sound so smooth. And because you can't have the dead space, the dead air. Going back to my respiratory physiology, talking about dead space. So when you're doing stuff and you're trying to concentrate and you're trying to, also fill the sound so that people don't think that you've frozen or anything like that, takes a little bit of effort here. So what I'm going to do, and now I've got the window pulled up here, so now I can activate good old window capture, hopefully. Uh-oh. Yay, there we go. And also, hello, Craig. I keep looking at the real camera. And joining in. And if you're still watching, I know you haven't commented yet, but please tell me how I can better clarify what time like daylight time and stuff, because I saw about a half hour too late. I saw you tried to get into the Zoom webinar last night at what probably would have been 7 o'clock Eastern Standard, but we're on daylight time now, so we got to work on that a little bit. I appreciate you trying. I appreciate you trying to stop in. Whoa, we got volume.
Everybody, come on in. This is time to walk.
So, full disclosure, Kelly and I both kind of find her voice mildly annoying, so
She's a little chipper.
She's a little chipper, as Kelly says. But this is just going to kind of give you a little bit of a peek. You can kind of see there's a lot of different, as I've tried to do with every one of these Fitness Fridays, these steps are very adaptable. You've got people of various fitness levels. You've got people who are swinging their arms at different rates. There's a lot of different modifications you can do. In theory, you can even put your butt back in the chair and still step, and you're getting some activity even if you can't support all that stuff. You just needed the code, Ann says. We didn't have a code. There wasn't a code for last night, so we'll continue that conversation later. I'll make sure we're gonna go ahead Monday night. I'm gonna make sure I send you a message, because I know we're friends on Facebook. I will send you a message a little bit beforehand, right when we get started, and give you the direct link and all that stuff. So like I said, we've got these. This is a 10-minute cardio blast at an at-home workout. We're going stepping to the side, all that kind of stuff. So now you get the idea. We'll go ahead and turn that back off again.
It's very easy once you get used to it.
Oh, you know what? I didn't have the double click on. So probably everybody's looking at me like, what are you talking about? So this is what it looks like. That's fine, because we won't give away all the secrets here. Lots of different people, lots of different styles, lots of different fitness levels, all that stuff. I really wish LastPass would get its act together and stop telling me it's an invalid password. I'm actually signed into the app, and it keeps putting this big banner across the web page. Invalid password.
It's just testing.
Like con. So that is that. And so we can just close that out, and
What I
we're
love
back.
is that it's very basic movements that you can just mirror without needing the verbal cue once you're used to the basic movements. And you can mute her and put on your own jams.
So as Kelly's pointing out, if you can't hear her over on the side there, the movements are pretty simple and they're pretty repetitive. And, again, on DVD or watching on YouTube, you can kind of get into the rhythm of it. And again, you can kind of turn her off if she's too chipper for you, like she's too chipper for us, and just kind of roll with it. So without further ado, I'm going to see. Ooh. First off, I'm going to knock around the laptop desk a little bit here.
Nice.
All right. And then I'm going to angle that like so. And shoot.
Knock out the camera cord again.
Yeah, and for some reason the battery isn't working very well either. So there's like, it just stops. So what I'm going to do, here, I tell you what, why don't you...
You want me to sit down?
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you take over for a second, because I'm going to try to take some of the slack off the camera here a little bit.
Okay. Sorry for knocking.
Getting a little behind the scenes here. Alright, now it's going to be real important that you don't knock this out.
Like he did.
Like,
You got it.
and we're going to switch to Omni. Alright, now I'm going to do me a favor and
External cam?
yeah, click on the little eye there. And then click on the eye for webcam. Cool, perfect. And then double click on initial. And the mouse is right there. Joe Walsh says, I think she's just well caffeinated. That's fair enough. And also, hello, Kim.
Kim Pratt.
And high tech in motion. You go, Mike. Well,
A live feed of Hester sitting on the couch.
I'm not visible, right?
no.
Just your
we
feet.
We do have our new cat tower and Potato taking full advantage of that here. So
Cannot see your face.
okay.
Do you want me to angle up?
Yes.
Alright, I'm just gonna leave it there. I can't see your feet, but...
Trained professionals. Here, what? This is how it works. You loosen that a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that was tightened.
And then that's a little smoother. And then you tighten it back
You want
up.
the remotes? Volume.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
And then that's the band piece.
Alright, so we're gonna keep her on mute.
Okay. Thank.
You can have them hear the instructions at first.
No,
I think
I'll
that's
do
good.
the instructions.
Okay.
We're good?
Karen says she loves the cats.
We do too.
Alright, so I'm gonna do my best Leslie Sansone impression here.
You won't need the band till at least the second mile.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get into the second mile because we're only gonna probably do about 15 minutes. So that's probably 1 mile, but you know, sometimes. Well, so I'm gonna go. I might just hang on to it at least
Just
for a
go
little.
to mile 2.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
This is my favorite
That's
one. It's
Well,
45
I
minutes.
need a producer.
It's 15 minutes per mile.
Yeah.
And they're each a little bit different.
So about 15 minutes, you said?
Yep.
We get a little indication about.
Usually.
Hey, we had this one on DVD, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
I
This is
recognize
one
the
of-
people.
Yep.
I don't know
These
what that
are
says about me.
Extended family here.
All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started then, because we're walking. She does a lot of, you know, she's like I showed you in the preview video. She's got like 6 people in the studio all hiking around with her. So she's doing a lot of the, you know, the DJ vamping we were just talking about. She's okay. Now we're power walking. Don't give up that beautiful heart rate. The other thing I wanted to mention is, I briefly mentioned, so now we're tapping out. I did go for a walk this morning before it was too terribly humid. You can do this too. And I got about half of my steps in for today. I think we were talking about fight to flight. my goal for the week has been to get 10,000 steps each day. Monday I got 800. Tuesday I got 900.
1,000.
Yeah. Started ramping up to it a little bit because, Rome wasn't built in a day. New habits take some time to develop. But Wednesday, Thursday, I got over 11,000 each day. And today, right now, I'm at 87.96. So again, this is kind of a throwback to, whoa.
That doesn't look natural on you, honey.
Well, it's like trying to walk.
It's like toe tap back.
It's walk and chew gum and
vamp.
pat your head and rub your tummy all at the same time.
Like you're leaning forward to ski and yeah.
Yeah, you know what a skier I am.
Well, and see, like we have it on closed captioning, so if people want the cues, you can have those as well.
Okay, tap out for 4, 3, 2, tap. It's like the harmonica stuff when you're doing the tabs. I mean, it's hard to think of the rhythm and tap at the same time. And
it's harder without, I mean, if you don't have music or, I mean, you're doing it silent, that's...
I guess. I mean, that's... Everything long and tall in the trunk, she's emphasizing. You want to have that good posture, which is going to be good for your lungs, too. And I'm not probably demonstrating as well as I should. But you want to be nice and tall, have your spine aligned, have a good core. This is all coming from her, by the way. Not trying to take credit where it's not due.
I like the change in position so that one muscle group doesn't get too fatigued before you move to the next movement.
See, I bet also what I could do is if we, yeah, here we go. So you can improvise a little bit too. Get a little bit of extra resistance in your maneuver here. Oop.
Some of them have little weighted balls of sand that you do the movements with.
Oh, so that's the beginning of the mile. So we're doing some stuff with the arms, and that again, the upper body is so key when we start getting into talking about some of the COPD stuff, because you want to really build those accessory muscles, those extra muscles of breathing.
So it's about 2,000 steps per mile when you walk outside. It would be interesting to know how many miles you get with Leslie.
Yeah, so
Or
I
how
was
many
at,
steps?
what I say, 87?
And you're starting one right now.
Okay, so I'm almost actually right at 9,000 right now. So
Okay, so
she's wearing some fitness gloves that maybe have a little bit of weight to them. And she's doing some kind of mambo.
yeah.
And if you sit down a little low, you engage more thighs, she says. So sit down into it. Like Captain Picard in that one where he's doing the mambo. The movie. Any comments coming through there, Emma?
No, we had a couple people join, but no comments.
Well, welcome in. Fitness Friday. COPD Navigator house call.
I did this workout when I quit smoking in 2003. And I did this workout when I was 300 pounds. And I still like it today.
It's a good workout. I mean, I'm already having a little bit of what we in the biz call a conversational dyspnea. That's a pretty good indicator of where you want to be. If you when you're working out with perfect lungs, you want to be at that level where you're a little bit uncomfortable and maybe can't quite talk to your normal level. I believe that's
But you should be able to talk. You shouldn't be completely breathless or you're working too hard.
right.
And
right.
you'll go out of the aerobic zone.
Well, and especially if you're having lung problems
Absolutely.
anyway. If you're having breathing problems anyway, you really want to be a bit careful, or a lot careful.
Joe Walsh says, would you post the correct spelling of Jean Sansone or question mark?
Oh,
Leslie, can you type it? Do you know Emma? I can tell you.
L-E-S.
Oh, it's already
L-I-E.
there, yeah.
Okay.
S-A-N-S-O-N-E.
Or just search Walk Away the Pounds.
Or just search Walk Away the Pounds. So here we're doing some leg lifts. She is again emphasizing keeping the back straight, working the back end as she called it. Upper body's working because we're moving the arms. And again, adaptable. If you just want to work the arms, if you just want to keep on walking. There are a lot of different kinds of videos, and each video has different segments or modes or modalities, phases. Crunching the knee right here. Whew.
Different muscle groups with the wider stance and lunge.
So again, we were kind of talking about, I think it was maybe last night, we were talking a little bit about looking at videos that you might not normally expect. Like, you know, we talked about a couple weeks ago, Tai Chi is great for COPD. Centering, meditation, mindful breathing, all that kind of stuff, plus some movement to keep yourself going. You wouldn't necessarily think of it, but could be a good video. This is a similar thing. It's called Walk Away the Pounds, but you can see there's a lot more than just walking here.
I remember when I first did this and you wondered if there was much to it, and then you did a mile with me and you were like, that was a really great workout.
Now, again, the caution would be, certainly before you start any fitness activity, any new fitness activity, you're going to want to talk to your clinical team to make sure it's appropriate for you. You're going to want to make sure that you're not working to the point of pain or excessive heart rate or anything like that. There are a lot of different formulas and programs and stuff that you can find online to get to the most appropriate workout, like a heart rate range. This is another application for your pulse ox. Those of you who may have a pulse ox out there, you can be wearing that and not necessarily, I mean, you can track your oxygen certainly, and that's probably a good idea, but it also keeps an eye on your heart rate. What is it, 80% of?
70% is working pretty hard. So
Okay.
even at like 50, 60%, still getting of your 220 minus your age.
So 220 minus your age,
And then like,
and go about half of that.
mm-hmm.
That's going to be a pretty good rule of thumb. You know, again, if you work with pulmonary rehab or physical therapy or, you know, even exercise science, your pulmonologist may have some better advice for you, a cardiologist. But general rule of thumb to get started. See, she's kind of hopping, and I'm not real big on that because of the knees, so I'm kind of just like sliding my feet.
Shuffling.
Every day I'm shuffling with it.
Kay Sheehan says hello.
Hey, Kay. Should have put this one on Reddit. Chubby dude walks away the pounds.
Well, your chubby wife will do more with you this weekend.
Hey, did I mention I've lost 3 pounds already this week?
Good job.
So just by getting the steps on. So 17 to go. Oh, now we're clapping. And a workout has been detected. Thank
On
you,
your
Samsung.
watch?
Leslie
I know.
Samsung.
My watch doesn't like catch on until I'm like a half mile away in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think that's by design. So now we actually have formal activity with the resistance band. works similarly to the idea of weights. You can use these. You can have, they have sticks that you can use. You can really just use, like you said, the weighted sandbags. I mean, there's so many different ways to go about resistance training.
These
Well,
are
keep your
generally
hands like straight, Dad.
Sorry.
these are generally the safest, and so go for the lowest resistance when you're getting used to it.
Ah, good point. Different colors have different resistance. And also, you know, if you grip it out here and stretch it a little bit, that's going to be different than if you grip it here and try to get it way out. So again, very easily modified to a lot of fitness levels. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. Well, I was supposed to be doing that.
I would listen to her a few times before trying to mute her.
Your battery is running low.
Is it not plugged in anymore?
It would appear the end is not plugged. The charger itself.
I plugged it in though.
What, you had your production assistant?
It's not working.
Is it?
No.
How about now? No. Oh, it does look. It did come out a little bit.
There we go.
You good?
Yeah.
Since I'm in my jammies, I was gonna come in there.
We're good now.
Burning down the studio for the end of the show. It's a free. It's a. Was it a free party now? Is that what instead of Woodstock? Like you were there. That's my bad.
Wait, what?
I asked Kelly a question about Woodstock, like maybe she was there.
Hey, I have a lot of gray now.
Wasn't that in the 60s?
A little bit. That's
Like a little bit pregnant.
that's the joke.
Already.
You're getting what you pay for today, folks.
High quality content.
Stop the feet. Squats. Oh, I bet you can even hear the knee on the.
I like to think I'm pretty good at squats.
She's bouncing a lot. I don't like that. I don't like the bouncing on the
Not
knees.
all the miles are like that.
Yeah, this one, I mean, is fairly
It's a
intense.
rapid one, yeah.
But again, you find the one that's good for you and fits your time frame too. You know, we saw the sample video I put out there. It was like 10 minutes. Had a 10-minute timer, 10-minute cardio blast, I think they called it.
Yeah, it's not sissy stuff. She says that.
I'm at 9,800 now, though. Well, I'll get to celebrate together when I get that 10,000.
I remember when we were doing parade prep and Alyssa hit her step count. She was like, I have my step count. We're all like, cool. Congrats.
Oh yeah, Dad and I used to walk around the field while you guys were at band.
Yeah, marching band, another good cardio activity.
Mm.
And that is Power Mile.
Yep, that is a power mile.
That gets me to 99.10, so...
He's gonna run in place really, really fast.
So these walkaway videos are only about half the steps of like walking linear path.
Well, and there was the intermission and
Well, yeah, but I don't think I was down on the floor for 1,000 steps. Always important to stay hydrated, of course.
Hydrate or dehydrate.
So,
Delicious.
as I said,
She
probably
has
like
stretches at the end, just so people know.
so warm up, cool down, all that kind of stuff. Turned it the wrong way. Now it's on Omni. Trying new stuff all the time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But warm up, cool down. Find the level of intensity that works for you. Find the level of time that works for you, and make any modifications that you need. Again, this is a completely free. Again, other than the cost of the equipment that you probably, if you're watching this, you already have, because you're already on the internet, and you might even be watching it on YouTube. I'll see if I'll add some of her stuff into the pulmonary rehab playlist that we have. Very adaptable, all the stuff that you need. Inside, yeah, that's a great point. Stay inside where it's temperature controlled, at least as best as possible.
Hotel room.
On the road, yeah, travel, friend's house, family house. You know, if we ever get to see friends.
Yeah.
Well, we're starting to get out now. I even hear that we're going to be able to get haircuts in a couple weeks. So, save yourself about 6 by 6. I think you were saying before, 6 by 6 square. It's really all you need. You can even watch it on your phone, or have your phone propped up or whatever, and get it done like that. So, all right, Emma, we will let's tag out here.
Okie dokie.
Yep, hang on 1 second. There. No, even if you pull the cord out, it's fine. All right. So, where are we at? All right, cool. All right, folks. Well, we've got time for one last call of questions. While we're talking about that a little bit, I just want to once again, as always, say how much I really have appreciated the opportunity to spend some time with you over the last couple of months. These daily shows have been fantastic for me. They've been really meaningful and gratifying and satisfying, and pretty much every other adjective you can think of. I know we've met some new navigators along the way. We've tried, like we did today, tried some new stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's been really neat to experiment with this stuff and to help everybody breathe a little bit more lightly. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. This has been a really fantastic experience, and I hope it's been meaningful for a lot of you as well. So, not seeing a lot more questions come in. And I know it's Friday. I'm sure everybody's is excited for their own Friday festivities, whatever they may be. So, I will start signing off. Again, Monday, let's go chronologically. Sunday, make sure you stay tuned for Fight to Flight. Kelly hopefully will be feeling better by then, and we'll touch base again on Sunday. And hopefully the frankly bizarre audio glitch that plagued our first episode and down pitched both of our voices like 3/4 of an octave.
Like people should be dialing 1-900.
Yeah, that was really something. It was, when I first started as a presenter, like doing conferences and stuff like that, Kelly would kind of tease me a little bit because, I didn't really know any better. I thought, well, I'm a professional now. I'm the expert, and so, I was very practiced a lot, and I had like memorized the whole thing, and I was very calm and measured. And she said, you have such gravitas, which is great, but when you're there for a presentation, sometimes it's not what people are hoping for. Because there's that old saying: people don't always remember what they say, what you say, but they remember how you made them feel. So, I've tried to loosen up a little bit, but this whole thing, I don't know, whatever happened. I also was recording I was making a recorded lecture that day, and the same plague with that recording. Everything was just pitch shifted way low, and it just didn't make any sense. Can't figure out why. Went back on Monday and it worked fine. Couldn't replicate it, couldn't duplicate it, couldn't figure out, didn't change any settings or anything. It was just, who knows? Sunday ghost in the machine, I guess. But whatever it is, hopefully that will be gone. So that's on our new channel, which is Best Nest. We need 100 subscribers to actually change the name to something you can find. So in the meantime, I will put a link up there, and I will remind everybody in Navigator and on my personal pages and all that stuff. Check that out. That's a little bit of an expansion. We know a lot of folks who have breathing problems also have other problems. We know that what we in clinically call comorbidities are rampant in COPD. A lot of folks with diabetes, a lot of folks with arthritis, a lot of folks with heart stuff. So we need so thank you, John. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Karen. Not leaving forever, of course. We'll be back live as much as possible, and hopefully get some more of those videos up there. So, John says gravitas must be the 50-cent word of the day. Put that in your funkin' wagnalls. All right, folks. We'll see each other again soon. Take care, everybody.